All right, let's watch this. Let's watch this video. I want to watch this. I've been thinking about watching this. It's the freshest reaction in the world. This came out today, the Ludwig Ogren story.
Today, for the first time ever, we are going to do an uncapped subathon.
When it comes to
calling it today is so funny. Ludwig is one of the smartest content creators I know, but he truly thought the subathon would be 48 hours. He went to me and he's like, damn, dude, I can't believe this is happening. It's so stupid.
to drumming up hype on Twitch, few tactics are as tried and true as the marathon stream. From world first races and MMOs to charity events, marathon streams bring in high numbers of viewers and equally high amounts of money.
And seriously, raising $3.12 million for charity is so amazing, seriously.
But in March of 2021,
I'm in it! I made the video! Let's go! Hold!
1, 2 is so amazing, seriously.
but
I'm here, but I'm dead, but I'm here! Let's go!
Ludwig would end up streaming continuously for an entire month, living his entire life on camera and shattering records in the process.
All right, I'm going. We didn't break it yet, right? Tell me we didn't break it while I was washing a plate. That seems a little lackluster.
Run, Ludwig!
Monk of speed.
In over 740 consecutive hours on air, Ludwig went from a successful streamer to the biggest name on Twitch, as audiences watched him game, cook, exercise, and even sleep all on stream. This is the Ludwig Subathon.
Is it up motion?
I'm a great hitter on her.
I can't imagine you hitting on anyone.
I hit on you.
No, you didn't.
I'm all like flirty and cool.
No.
I was stuck in this bitch for 30 days. Today, I win the war.
I went to Ludwig's house the other day and I looked over in his backyard. It's kind of like hilly and deep. You look down and there is just the shattered remnants of a car's bed down there. It is the saddest graveyard I have ever seen in my life. Damn, animated thumbnail. That was the thumbnail. They animated it for the video? That's some polish, dude.
Originally, back in early March, Ludwig was planning to do a single 24-hour stream after returning home from a trip to see his family. Unfortunately, during this trip, Ludwig ended up being hospitalized with appendicitis. After getting his appendix removed, he returned home, but was still in bad shape during the time the broadcast was originally scheduled. This led to him pushing the stream for a few days and altering the format. It's been used in the past by other streamers, but rarely resulted in anything longer than a day or two. And Ludwig and his crew expected no different.
In that period of time,
Yeti!
we kind of had our own predictions about what was going to end up happening with the subathon, because we thought that his whole theory that if he makes the time limit basically based off of the longest stream he's ever had, or the most subs he's ever had in one day, that it'll be end in 2 days. We thought that was ridiculous. We thought that he was going to end up going like 4 days, 5 days.
Oh man, 5 days.
Our predictions ended up being a little bit off.
And so, on March 14th, the subathon began, and unbeknownst to those involved, history began being made.
Today, for the first time ever, we are going to do an uncapped subathon.
Uncapped. Oh god. We were so young. We were so naive. Uncapped. Hey, that's cap.
We are now at 2 hours, as you can see right here. Every single time you sub, this number goes up. And every single second that passes, it goes down. You know, time. Don't think we need to explain that one.
In the beginning, Ludwig had set the timer amount for each sub at 20 seconds. It might not sound like much, but when considering the tens of thousands of potential donors watching his channel, 20 seconds can add up quickly. Within the first half hour of the stream, subscribers had managed to push the clock to over 7 hours, a typical stream length for most large streamers, but before long, that would seem like rookie numbers. The first day of the subathon proceeded much like any other Ludwig stream. A fair bit of just chatting, chilling online, and some Pokemon gameplay to finish out the first day. The timer had been pushed all the way to 18 hours, and Ludwig finally went to sleep for the first time on what would become something of a mascot for the Subathon.
What do you think he was thinking? Like, he's laying there in the bed and saying, like, all right, I'm going to go to sleep. Stream is on. This is kind of weird. I wonder, maybe 2, 3 nights in here. The time is going up quick. 18 hours. Yeah, probably 3 nights, maybe 4.
And so we'll see how long this stream actually goes. But that's why I prepared a car's bed. And by I prepared, I mean Simon. Thanks to Simon. So we have a car's bed, and if it gets late, we're not going to stay awake for 30 hours straight. We're going to go to sleep on stream.
This marked the beginning of something that would define the after dark and early morning hours of the Subathon, the Modcast. Instead of opting for a VOD or media playlist to fill his
I did exactly 13 minutes of Modcast. You think they got me in this video?
sleeping hours, Ludwig enlisted the help of a small team of channel mods to help liven up the content.
I had aspirations to make it bigger for, you know, the chat to experience something while he was asleep. I didn't want it to be boring. I didn't want it to be quiet. I wanted things to be happening as much as I possibly could, and I wanted it to be involved, because we had a chance to, like, you know, absorb our seconds of fame on the channel and, like, do what we could to, like, promote not ourselves, but, like, the channel itself, and that it was so
I did not get
interesting the full
13 minutes
24-hour
worth of
period.
mod pay. It's
This
bullshit.
group would become the unsung heroes of the stream, keeping the chat entertained, engaged, and most importantly, donating, even when the person they were there for was unconscious. On that first night, the mods were able to push the clock past the 24-hour mark and somehow got a broadcast featuring a sleeping streamer to be the most viewed channel on Twitch.
30,000.5. We're so close. Come on.
Oh, it updated for me.
It's through. He's the most watched channel on Twitch.
Oh my god.
He's just sitting there sleeping.
We've got a sleeping man to
my
the top
God.
most watched channel on Twitch. We did it. Let's go.
These late night modcasts would become a staple of the stream, making up a third of the overall event runtime and becoming something of a phenomenon in their own right. The late shift would include audience interaction, commentary on videos and movies, and even a mod tournament in Pokemon Showdown. The antics and efforts of the mods were responsible for some of the biggest spikes of the Subathon, and unintentionally generated one of the biggest memes of the event. Ludwig waking up and realizing how high the timer had climbed.
Ooh, he's up. He hasn't awoken.
Oh, no.
Past 20 months. Awake. Oh,
Good
God,
morning,
he's awake.
Bud. The beast awakens.
No, bud. No, don't look.
Don't look. Don't look. Don't look.
Don't look.
Don't look. Don't look. It's okay. Ludwig, go back to bed. Go back to bed. Oh no.
Yeah, it is at 29 hours. That's a good point, chat. What the
After the first of these moments, it became abundantly clear that the time per sub needed to be changed,
True.
or else the subathon might never end. Ultimately, the decision was made to cut the amount of time subs added to the timer in half, but even that couldn't stop the juggernaut this event was already turning into.
What's your ultimate goal here? To be the #1 of all time?
Is that Biscuit?
My goal is for it to end at some point now.
Dude, Blood, have you ever seen a subathon? This is the beginning.
This is terrifying news to hear.
Over the course of the next 3 days, the timer would continue to jump, partially fueled by moderator-run betting pools, where viewers could bet channel points on where the timer would end up at certain points in the day. This led to massive pushes to hit certain milestones, no matter how high. Then, in the wee hours of the morning of March 17th, the stream got its biggest spike in sub time, thanks to a stream crash.
The stream crashed, and that timer adder, that element, changed from 10 to 15 seconds. So it was during one of the nights where that happened, and it was like 15 seconds added per sub, and it was a whole bunch of subs that got pushed for in that period of time where the betting was being used. So it was like this double whammy of extra time being added.
When Ludwig awoke the next morning, the timer had effectively doubled from where it had been when he went to bed. But because of the error, Ludwig took it upon himself to adjust the timer back to account for the extra 5 seconds per sub.
Good call.
This shaved roughly 18 hours off the stream.
It's been done.
Tim, we haven't even gotten to the auto timer yet. This is insane. I feel like there's so much lore.
Viewers refused to take this lying down. There was a massive donation pushback, skyrocketing the clock and creating a veritable wall of subs so thick that chat could barely get through. This organized revolt got the stream to what would ultimately be its highest point, with just over 3 days of stream time sitting on the clock. This push also led to another shifting of the subathon rules. The mods discontinued any betting, and gift subs got hard capped at 100 per account. Anyone that went over would receive a ban for the rest of the subathon. By the morning of the 6th day, Ludwig and the mods had seemingly worked out all the kinks, and the stream fell into its status quo.
Alright, wait. Check this out.
Oh.
Wait, what the? My whole computer's crashing. Otto, what are you doing to me?
While much of the stream remained rooted in the same content Ludwig had always created, there was also a huge new social aspect. As
Yoinked and scroinked, dude. Shout out to the original VGHS reactor.
the subathon began to be integrated into more and more of Ludwig's everyday life.
Watch those knees, watch these hands.
Along with his roommates, Ludwig began broadcasting his daily workouts and meal preparation in the kitchen, things that may not have been his forte, but had their own charm and appeal all the same.
That is a lot of yerba.
One day I went to the bathroom and I had a huge long poop. Thick, hard, you know? There's not a lot of fiber in there.
I feel that.
Are you talking about your boner?
No, poop. And I pooped so hard in college that I started to bleed.
Ooh, yeah, that happens.
And that's what a period is. But
No.
for that-
Thanks for sharing.
These aspects of the stream really tapped into the root of what was appealing about OG reality shows like Big Brother or The Real World, allowing viewers to take a peek into the personal life of one of their favorite personalities. And this blurring of the line between reality and entertainment was not lost on Ludwig and his crew.
Because it kind of came full circle when we watched
Aiming gaming.
Truman Show, like with the chat on stream. It was just like this weird, like absurd, joke of like everybody's basically watching the Truman Show unfold while we all group watch the Truman Show, and it was just like a very surreal moment.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
And then he walks out of the dome. What a movie.
But novelty can wear off fast, and as the stream approached the end of its second week, the momentum for subs had significantly died down, and it looked as if the subathon might be winding down.
The subathon might be winding down. 408 hours
to
remaining.
its end. It was during this time that Ludwig took his first real break away from the camera, having made plans with his girlfriend's family well before the start of the subathon. This left the stream in the hands of Ludwig's roommate, friend, and fellow streamer, Anthony Slime Bruno.
Alright. You ready for Uncle Slime?
This section of the stream, affectionately dubbed Slime Time, saw Slime fulfilling all of Ludwig's duties, including chat interaction and sleeping on stream. But the highlight was when he brought in the other residents of the house for a night of American Truck Simulator, complete with a big steering wheel controller and Bass Pro Shop hat, like any respectable trucker.
It was just very spur of the moment. There was a lot of, like, you know when you're with your friends and everyone's laughing and you feel like you're laughing for like an hour straight because everyone's just on and saying something funny. That's kind of what was happening, but we were live and it just felt good and all my friends were there, and it's something that I would be doing even if the cameras weren't on and even if there weren't people watching.
So are we there yet?
All right.
As it turned out, this break from what had become the norm was just the thing that viewers needed to reignite their excitement for the stream.
I watched Slime try and 3-point turn the semi in the back, that loading dock of that grocery store, for at least an hour. Every time he was so close to glory, so close to greatness, and he just couldn't do it. He eventually did it.
Despite this momentary boost, it wasn't long before the timer began to wind down once again, and soon it looked as though the end was in sight, as the clock entered into the final hour.
Final hour.
I don't know. I can't figure it out. I can't figure this. It pisses me off because I want ice, because the water's warmish, and I want cold.
But the final hour turned out to be anything but, with the clock sitting under an hour for the next week. But despite the constant subscriptions coming in to save the stream, the threat of it ending always loomed. And the growing stress of this existential dread brought out a toxic element in the fan base, who began targeting the donors keeping the stream alive. The true why of it can only be speculated. The viewers themselves claim it was for Ludwig, stating that they just wanted to let him get back to his life. Others think it can be chalked up to the toxic nature of the internet. But for the mods, whose job it is to keep a finger on the pulse of chat, there seems to be something more to it. At this point, the stream had already cemented itself as a cultural phenomenon, not only within gaming circles,
Don't
but
use your
pushing its way
stimulus
into
check
the
on me,
mainstream.
says Ludwig. That's
The
so
Subathon
funny.
meant something special to hundreds of thousands of people, and many desperately wanted to be there for its final moments. This desperation led to increasingly intense behavior, including fights and death threats leveled against donors, necessitating an abundance of bans. Soon it became clear that despite the low number on the timer, the stream wasn't going to be ending of its own accord anytime soon.
What if you just ended it right now? Like, fuck it. What do you mean? What?
That was me. That's my comment. Wait, am I crazy? Didn't I?
What do you mean, Stan? Yeah, I could. Yeah.
What do you mean, Stanz? Holy shit, I'm in it twice. We're everywhere. I just came in and was like, hey, man, what if you just turned it off, dude? What if you just said, fuck it?
Fuck it. What do you mean? What? What do you mean, Stan? Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could do that. Actually, yeah, it's a good point.
And then he
All
did
right,
it.
Ludwig made the decision to hard cap the stream.
You have to reset the stream every 48 or something, right, chat? And so he turned it off for a minute and then went back online.
Stream at 31 days,
That was funny.
announcing that on April 13th, the endless stream that had captured the hearts and minds of Twitch would finally and definitively come to an end. With this announcement, the tone of chat began to stabilize and return to normal, secure in the knowledge of its end and unified by a new goal: beating the all-time active sub record.
The 31-day cap is in place. It's not really a cap. It's more so that I said multiple times if I hit 31 days, I would break Ninja's record for the most subs ever all time on Twitch. And if I ever hit that record, then I mean, like, I don't see it, you know, it could just repeat, I guess, but I don't care to do that. And so if it gets there, I mean, I'll go out with a bang.
The record at the time was held by Ninja, with a whopping 269,000 subs. It felt like an entirely unscalable peak, with the next closest streamer pulling in less than half of that. But as the Ludwig stream edged closer and closer to its final day, the summit of that particular mountain came into view. On April 13th, Ludwig finally did away with subs adding to the timer, instead setting it to count down to the predetermined end of the stream, and adding a total subscriber count, allowing fans to see how close they truly were to their final goal. At 1:30 that afternoon, the moment of truth finally came.
We did it. We broke the record. This is us. I get all of the money. I just get so much of it. We did this, though. You were here. This is your guys' record. My money. Your record, though.
The last goal of the stream had finally been met. The record was broken, the month was over, and all there was left to do was take a victory lap, which the house did in destructive style. As a final farewell, Ludwig and his roommates demolished the car bed that had been the centerpiece of his stream for the last 31 days, an experience that proved to be nothing if not cathartic.
I was stuck in this bitch for 30 days. Today, I win the war.
Oh, good hit. Good
As the
hit,
stream
dude.
drew to a close in its true final moments,
Oh, don't make me cry, though.
there was no more spectacle, no more posturing,
Stop. You've gotta
just
stop.
raw, quiet emotion from a man who had accomplished the impossible. As Ludwig's stream faded to black for the first time in a month, he shared one final salute with his audience. And with that, one of Twitch's greatest events had come to an end.
God, that's gonna make me tear up, dude. It's so crazy. He's just a fucking jabroni. And it's so crazy that a few years ago, there's a message. Maybe I can find it. What is our oldest message? It's me and Atrioc planning esportsman-like conduct, our podcast that ran for a few years. It's crazy it's dead. And we were looking for an intern. We were looking for someone who would do all of the work that we didn't want to do. And he brought up, hey, there's this kid Ludwig. And I watched Tempe Late Night with Ludwig. And I said, this guy's really funny. Let's get him on the show. And we brought Ludwig as a special guest in one of our early episodes, little 30 viewer Ludwig. And now Ludwig is sitting here crying because he reached the peak. He did it. He said, I want to make content. And he made content. He made more content than anyone. He broke the records. It's something special. I respect it and love it. And I think this until I talk to Ludwig and he farts in the mic. And I fucking can't stand talking to the guy.
Final salute with his audio.
I cannot stand talking to the guy.
Taxes or payouts to Twitch. As he promised earlier in the stream, the new king of Twitch went on to donate over $365,000 to various charities, as well as another large sum to the mods that helped make the stream possible. And while the subathon defied every expectation, dramatically expanded Ludwig's viewer base, and turned a pretty penny in the process, Ludwig has made it clear that this was a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
And the reason I would never do one again is very simple. And it's the reason why you shouldn't make a sequel to the movie The Hangover. It'll never be as good as the original.
One thing is for sure. With the success of his subathon, Ludwig has effectively been crowned the new king of Twitch.
Oh my god, I'm everywhere. I'm fucking everywhere in this bitch. Sheesh.
His legacy on the platform. And although he may never do another, his efforts are sure to inspire the next generation of creators, the same way that Ninja and Drake inspired him. A generation that will always remember where they...
Did Drake inspire Ninja? Inspire Ludwig? Or just Ninja?
...were when the Ludwig Subathon ruled the world.
Because I know one time I'll hit the stop streaming button for the last time ever. And it's not that far away even when we think about our whole life. So even though it's been a taxing month, weird, grueling at times, it was nice to not have to hit the stop streaming button for just a brief period of my life. Man, I could wake up like a sleepover and immediately get to hanging out with what I really like doing most with my life. And so, as the clock winds, 2 minutes left. I got nothing left to say, but thank you.
Wow. Good video, upcomer. That was great. I love that. That was only 20 minutes. That felt like an hour. It doesn't even have 1,000 views yet. Subscribe, baby. Click the bell. Like. Damn. That was good. I really liked that.